So one big feature becoming available, and we talked about it a little bit when I was talking about the new raid, because cross-faction guilds will be able to join in the Race to World First. We're going to see cross-faction guilds. Now, let's see everything. This is a video about everything we need to know from MrGM about cross-faction guilds coming in the next patch, which is just now one reset away, May 2nd. Let's see everything we need to know. I've always talked about the fact that I wouldn't create a guild, but who knows if cross-faction guilds really become, useful. You never know. Let's see what MrGM has to say about cross-faction guilds here.
Hello there and welcome back to another video. Today we're going to talk about cross-faction guilds. Yes, cross-faction guilds are finally coming to the game in patch 10.1 Embers of Neltharion, which is launching in like 2 weeks or so, which is awesome. So yeah, in this video we're going to go over everything you need to know about cross-faction guilds.
An auction house
how they
mount could
work,
be
what are the restrictions, all that kind of
useful.
stuff. But
agree.
before we
Besides
jump
the
into
long
all
way.
of that, guys, just want to shout out my Twitch, twitch.tv/MrGM.
Yeah.
You're going to see me streaming World
We
of
raid
Warcraft,
MrGM all the time.
Dragonflight PTR, Wrath Itching Classic, and more.
He's a
From
follower of the channel.
twitch.tv/MrGM.
Can I say?
Every single day.
We've made it.
So yes, finally, we are getting cross-faction guilds in World of Warcraft. There's definitely some restrictions to it. There's some interesting parts to it for sure. But at the very heart of it, yes, you will be able to be in a guild with Alliance and Horde, which I think is the best part of it all.
It's so crazy in World of Warcraft to see
guild,
something
so
like
you
that.
still have to be on the same realm. But yeah, this is a massive,
not
massive
cross-realm.
move from Blizzard, and really opening up so many doors in regards to kind of playing together and things like that, which is just fantastic. So yes, Alliance and Horde can group together in a guild. Now there is a bunch of restrictions here. It's not so cut and dry. So first and foremost, this doesn't really open up too much in the outside world. As you can see here from the
outside
restrictions,
world
it says you can't
content
do
is
outdoor
still...
world content or queued content. Queued content is still going to be faction specific, so normal dungeons, time walking dungeons, heroic dungeons, LFR, etc. Will still be faction specific, and you will not be able to do that with your guild mates as of 10.1.
I mean, imagine, though, they opened up world content, so you could raid Stormwind with Alliance players. That'd be kind of ridiculous.
It's unfortunate. It would have been really nice to be able to do that, but yeah, that looks like something...
Times are tough. Just let everybody in, 100%, I agree.
But yeah,
they really need to lift the
we will certainly see.
Mythic
As
lockout,
for inviting and
Mythic
how the
raid
guild works
lockout.
like that, it is a little bit confusing, so let me try and break this down. The PTR is slightly different to what Blizzard have said, so yeah, I'll talk about what's on the PTR. The PTR is on the release candidate as of this video, so it looks like this is how it's going to work, which is actually better than what Blizzard said. So if you're looking to create a brand new guild, Alliance and Horde can sign the charter. You don't need to be Battle.net friends, you don't need to be in a community together. If you're a Horde character looking to create a guild, you can run around Valdrakken and request Alliance characters to sign your charter. That actually does work.
Cool.
So once that guild's created, obviously it'll be a cross-faction guild with Alliance and Horde inside it. Now once the guild is created, the guild is based off of the leader's faction. So if the leader is a Horde, it'll be a Horde guild. And that Horde guild leader can list it on the guild finder, and that will only come up for Horde characters if they want to join this guild. Alliance would not be able to find the guild. However, what I tested was putting a Alliance character as an officer in the guild and listing the guild through that, and that actually worked. This made my test guild come up on the guild finder for the Alliance and the Horde simply by having an Alliance officer.
So you're going to want to, if you want it cross faction listed in the group finder, in the guild finder, just make your officer the opposite faction of what you are. That's interesting.
Guild, and that seemed to work fine.
Mythic lockout
also, it seems like you can just randomly
arcade.
invite people cross faction. So if
they want to lock it out just for the race, I'm fine with that, and then remove the lockout. That's what they should do. It'll just open up Mythic rating for so many more people, and like these guilds.
Horde officer or guild leader, you can just walk up to Alliance players and invite them randomly.
Then you can just backfill with randoms, so they don't feel like they have to be worried about their lockout.
Blizzard did say that you will have to be in a community with them or a Battle.net friend. So could be a bug, could be intended, not really sure what's going on with that. Another thing that's a little bit contradictory to what Blizzard have said versus what's on the PTR is regarding the guild achievements and the items on the vendor for the guild. Blizzard said in the official post that the guild's affiliation with the Alliance or Horde will depend on the faction of the guild leader, which is true. That is actually how it works. But it goes on to say that the guild achievements and vendors will still reflect the guild's primary faction. So, as mentioned, this is an Alliance character. This is obviously the guild vendor. So these are Alliance items. So I can actually purchase the Reigns of the Golden King, which is an Alliance-only mount. It's really interesting. So I don't know if that's just something to do with my character specifically.
There's no way Horde players will be able to buy
that is
that.
something that is not quite correct as of Blizzard's blue post.
Maybe
As
it depends on
said,
who the
reflects
player is.
the guild leader's faction. So in theory, there should be Horde stuff here, and I shouldn't be able to buy it as an Alliance character. But this is really nice, actually. If this is the case, if this is how it actually works, that's fine,
That's
because
good.
then you can still get the Alliance perks
Yeah.
and things like that, even if you are in a Horde guild.
That's good, because in essence, if you had players in a cross-faction guild unable to purchase the mount, that would kind of suck for their faction. So this is better than what they posted.
So as for achievements, this is really interesting as well. So guild achievements are not really anything too important anyway, so it doesn't
Yeah, I don't
really
give a
matter.
shit
It's kind of
about guild
inconsequential
achievements.
at the end of the day. But as an Alliance member in a Horde guild, you can actually see that there is Alliance achievements, and there is actually some credit towards these Alliance achievements in a Horde guild. Presumably on a Horde character in this guild,
It would just be
these
flipped to
achievements would
Horde.
not come up. They would be the Horde equivalent.
Yeah.
I don't know if it will total all of the guild achievement points. So, you know, if you got classy humans on one character on the Alliance side, but also got classy orcs, would that count towards both? Would you get 20 achievement points in total? Again, guild achievements very inconsequential, not really a thing that's, you know, too focused on in the game. So it doesn't really matter, to be honest. But yeah, it is
Maybe for
interesting
achievement
that I do see
chasers
all
they
of
matter,
the
but-
Alliance achievements here instead of the Horde ones. But yeah, as I said,
I
if I'm
could
in the
care less
same
about the
guild,
guild achievements.
on a Horde, I will see the kind of Human Slayer achievement or the Gnome Slayer achievement and things like that instead of these ones here. So yeah, a really interesting part that I'm a little bit confused about, but again, inconsequential. Guild achievements don't really matter. One thing you can do in a cross-faction guild is use the guild bank cross-faction. So yes, Horde and Alliance will
That's
both be able
crazy.
to use the exact same guild bank. That does also include guild repairs as well, which
So
is
would
really
this
nice.
enable
So basically, you
cross-faction
will get
trading?
all of the
Like-
perks of the guild from that. Also, of course,
A way to bypass an auction house to get something across a faction line? Do you remember when the only time you'd be able to really do that was to list things on the auction house in Gadget Scan? That's interesting.
There is
I wonder if
guild
people
chat.
can
Guild
figure
chat's
out a
going
way
to
to
be Horde and Alliance.
kinda
as
mess
you
with the
can see.
economy.
People talking here between the Horde and Alliance. But as for the UI, there's not really many changes apart from the fact that it just says Horde when you hover over it, as you can see. But yeah, as mentioned, the perks on this Alliance character in a Horde guild are the Alliance ones, and it will work, obviously, the opposite way as a Horde member in the same guild. And one final thing is that the Mythic Hall of Fame is now going to be a combined Hall of Fame as of patch 10.1 Embers of Neltharion.
we talked
There
about
won't
this.
be an Alliance Hall of Fame, there won't be a Horde one, there'll just be a combined one, which
which
really
is good.
interesting. So I'm looking forward to seeing the differences that are going to happen
the Alliance one used to lag behind so bad it was ridiculous.
during the Race to World first specifically, see if there'll be any Alliance characters in there or any Horde characters in the Alliance guilds. I'd be very curious to see. Very excited. I think it's a great move from Blizzard, definitely, to finally put this into the game.
It is a great
Obviously,
move.
the restrictions
It's
are a
just
little bit
that
annoying,
time.
a little bit
The
egregious.
game needs it.
But I think it's just a slow burn, and I think over time, some of these barriers will probably be taken down, and we'll just slowly get to a point where it's like, you know, you can go and do outside world content or queued instances and things like that.
I'm
But
guessing
again, it's a slow burn. It's definitely a nice start.
It won't break the game as bad as enabling cross-faction did. Cross-faction enable. You guys remember that week? I mean, we had downtime, server downtime, like every day, because opening up cross-faction broke the game so bad. This is just enabling guilds. I mean, I'm hoping there's no breakage happening because of it. But if anything, somewhat kind of messes with the game that week that this patch drops, it probably would be this.
And finally, we're getting it in patch 10.1.
For some reason,
This
anything
does launch
cross-faction
on
based
May
kind of breaks the
2nd
code
in
for a
the
little
NA
bit.
region or May 3rd in the EU. So yeah, look forward to cross-faction guilds coming in patch 10.1.
Look at that.
So thank you very much for watching, guys. That is everything you need to know about cross-faction guilds. Let me know down below what you think of cross-faction guilds. Are you excited? Are you going to be joining one? What's going to be happening with you? I want to know.
I think it's great.
I'm
Great
definitely
addition
going
to
to
the
be
game.
joining some Horde guilds. I have a lot of Horde friends, so I probably will be joining some of those guilds. But yeah, we'll see what happens. But guys, thank you very much for watching. If you like this video, please do leave a like on it and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. If you want to
Yes.
support me outside of YouTube, I also have a Patreon and I'm on Twitter at MrGMYT. And
Yes.
I have a Discord channel as well. And as mentioned, I am streaming on twitch.tv/MrGM.
He sure is.
If you want to see me stream World of Warcraft, Dragonflight, Dragonflight PTR, Wrath Teaching Classic, any sort of World of Warcraft, we're over on twitch.tv/MrGM every single day. And with that, guys, I'll see you next time.
Mr. GM. Great video. Yeah, very informative. Probably because we aren't meant to blend together. Yeah, I mean, the game was obviously made with faction borders in mind, right? Keeping the factions apart was part of the code of the game. And when they changed that, yes, I'm sure. That's why it led to some breakage, because the game was coded to do the exact opposite.